Written in my diary, the start of war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my hairstyle. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my hairstyle. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my hairstyle. Been from the cradle to the grave.
DJ all the way. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back David Johnson, fresh off 100 yards on the ground a week ago, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
Kyle Rudolph had his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league, continues to improve as a blocker, is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
Eluding the pressure right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. The Pro Bowler, Patrick Peterson, back deep for Arizona. They only punted twice in the win. Now it's Peterson. Oh, and now he pulls him over. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll have the former Oklahoma Sooner calling the shots. At quarterback will be Sam Bradford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A big welcome back here for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A play fake. Bradford. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On play action, Bradford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cousins now on 2nd down. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On third down, Johnson. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Cousins now. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Flush to his right. Only one score in the first quarter, and it came from the defense. The Vikings are in the lead early. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a run with Cook. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second down, Cousins. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Bradford on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A first throw for the backup Rosen. And his first throw here is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away.
And got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Dayon Buchanan coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does so.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance. Return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion. Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles? You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield. Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable. I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look. Well, to this point, no catches. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start down in South Florida. Chicagoans happy with the schedule makers this year as they get a visit to Miami. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Jameis Winston has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Third and long for Bradford. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. From the left side, complete. It's Morgan. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got room. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Well, I thought they should have punted before. Now they probably definitely need to punt, right?
Yeah, we did a little mind melding there, didn't we? Because I was wondering, why are you out there if you're not going to punt it in the first place? Now, I don't think they have any choice.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, and their yardage will be found.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
On 3rd down, that's Johnson. And this It's been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game.
Oh, they're on him too quickly back there, and it's blocked. And the Vikings are in for the touchdown. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Bradford going to lead the Cardinals up now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he cuts it right and into space. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Bradford. Nelson's got it here right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Bradford finding Nelson for an Arizona first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, Bradford. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll throw again. Bradford in the middle of the field. He's got Nelson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Bradford again. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
To the air again with Bradford. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
False start. Offense.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Again, it's Bradford. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Bradford. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing on third and long. Bradford throwing the out route incomplete. That's Nelson. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And Dawson's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 10 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Following the interception, Bradford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Working out of the gun, Bradford completes it to Cook over the middle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now they'll run. Murray. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. This is Murray. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. They'll try and run with Murray. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Bradford going to lead the Cardinals up now 1st and 10. A first down throw for Bradford. Over the middle, complete. It's Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. One last shot now for Bradford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Vikings, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.